Are you tired of regular meals? Are you looking for something different? Then why not try attending a small event in Tokyo, where you're served an extremely unique dish. Here's a photo of the dish I'm referring to, which is made from the intimate body part of a performance artist named Mao Sugiyama. This man had his genitalia removed, seasoned it, and cooked it for the guests at the party. There are always incredible things happening in Japan, and this is one such story. Before we dive into today's story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to ensure you don't miss any new videos. The story begins with a tweet from a Twitter account named Mao Sugiyama. I am selling a dish made from my intimate body part for 100,000 yen. I am Japanese. I have been tested and do not have any sexually transmitted diseases. The first interested buyer will receive it, or I will consider selling it to a group. Anyone with questions can contact me via direct message or email. I will personally prepare and cook the dish as per the customer's request, and you can choose the location. The man made this post public, accompanied by a photo of a piece of meat thawing inside a plastic bag. Sugiyama's post immediately caused a social media uproar, with hundreds of shares and comments about the post. Most people thought this was just a ridiculous prank by Sugiyama to gain attention and become famous. The piece of meat in the bag was also believed to look no different from ordinary animal meat. However, perhaps out of curiosity, many people actually signed up to try this bizarre dish from the man. To prove his claim was true, Sugiyama directly clarified and detailed the entire process of having his intimate body part removed. At the same time, the man explained why he wanted people to experience this dish. Mao Sugiyama, a 23-year-old performance artist from Tokyo, Japan, was known for his art. Perhaps because artists often view and think about the world differently, Sugiyama believed artistic creativity should not be constrained or limited by gender. For this reason, he identified as genderless, feeling he was neither a man nor a woman, and believed his body should reflect this identity. Wishing to affirm his genderless identity, Sugiyama consulted a doctor and expressed his desire to have his genitalia removed on his birthday. He requested the removal of all organs that reflected sexual characteristics, including having his chest's sensitive areas removed. In the weeks leading up to the surgery, Sugiyama indulged in a month-long spree with women to ensure he wouldn't regret his decision. After the surgery to remove his private parts, the artist kept them in a freezer for 2 months before deciding to donate them. Sugiyama spent a significant amount of time contemplating what to do with his intimate body parts. Initially, he wanted to eat them himself, but soon decided it would be far more interesting to let others share the experience. The man came up with the idea of cooking this part of himself for others, and even announced he would share the recipe on popular cooking websites. Sugiyama identified as non-binary and used this culinary event to demonstrate that he did not belong to any gender. After this announcement gained widespread attention, Sugiyama turned the event into a public party and gave it the poetic name Ham Sibila, the banquet of the century. Cybele refers to the mother goddess of Anatolia, symbolizing the fertility of the land. In Japan, the word ham not only refers to cured meat as in the US, but also to processed meats in general. Meanwhile, century in Japanese is a homophone for the word genitalia. Mao Sugiyama stated that his gruesome meal was intended to raise awareness about gender and non-binary individuals. He also said he made efforts to ensure the meal adhered to Japanese food safety and medical waste regulations. Initially, people thought no one would attend such an event, but in the end, many young people in their 20s and 30s lined up to join the party. About 70 people attended the event at the Asagaya Loft Space in Suganami Ward, Tokyo. The bizarre event also attracted significant media attention, with many reporters present. The venue was a basement space, dimly lit with candles, accompanied by piano music and chatter about the strange dish. Guests at the party had to sign a waiver before attending, stating they knew what they were eating and that their participation was entirely voluntary. The waiver also stated, Sugiyama would not be held liable if anyone became ill or vomited after consuming the meal. Only 5 guests specifically requested the chef's special dish, each paying an equivalent of $250 for the experience. These included a young woman, a couple, a male manga artist, and an event planner, all aged between 22 and 32. The other 64 guests ate beef or crocodile meat. One of the people who registered to taste the gruesome dish was Shigenobu Matsusawa, 29, an event planner. This man posted a status on his personal Facebook page just before the event, saying, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I decided to act immediately." Around 7 p.m., the event titled Ham Sibylla, the Banquet of the Century, began with a short piano solo. Shortly after, the main character and host of the party brought out a tray with a mysterious lid. Sugiyama personally prepared his intimate body parts under the supervision of a chef. Photos of the event showed Sugiyama wearing a white dress and chef's hat, standing beside a portable gas stove and slicing the meat, while guests curiously watched. After slicing his intimate body parts into thin pieces, Sugiyama seasoned them and used the portable gas stove to cook them. The dish was carefully plated on white plates and garnished with mushrooms and parsley. Unfortunately for the diners, the meal did not live up to expectations, with some describing the dish as having a rubbery texture and bland taste. One of the 5 people who tasted the dish remarked that it would have been better if cooked properly. Many residents of Tokyo and elsewhere expressed discomfort and concern about this bizarre event. During the meal, Sugiyama and the event organizers were reported to the police by some local residents. The Tokyo District Prosecutor's Office received numerous criminal complaints against Mao Sugiyama and 3 others involved in organizing the event. The complainants were shocked and outraged, demanding Japanese investigators determine whether Sugiyama violated any laws by cooking and serving his intimate body parts to 5 diners. Of course, there are no laws against cannibalism in Japan, so authorities could do little about the case. They tried to charge Sugiyama with the crime of public indecency, which could result in 2 years of imprisonment and fines up to $32,000. However, this was complicated by the fact that all of Sugiyama's guests attended the event voluntarily. Sugiyama also argued that the indecency charges were baseless, since everyone attending the event knew exactly what it was about. He assured that he had not violated any laws, including bans on selling organs, handling medical waste, and food hygiene regulations. The man told police the event was for artistic purposes, designed to raise awareness about transgender and non-binary people. Ultimately, after failing to prosecute Sugiyama as requested by the public, authorities had to drop all charges. The story spread and sparked controversy across Japan, with some people expressing increased interest while others vehemently opposed the man's actions. So, what do you, the viewers of this video, think about this story? Do you believe Sugiyama's actions were for art or an indecent act deserving punishment?